Hello and welcome to another review of an S.H.Figuarts figure. This is Super Sailor Moon from the, of course, Sailor Moon series. Standard Sailor style box. This figure is actually really cheap in terms of S.H.Figuarts. It's the cheapest. You can actually get it for 180 Hong Kong. I got this for 200. It's very cheap for some reason. Just pull the tray out. On the back there you see again standard box style with all the different faces, different accessories and different poses, instruction sheet coming out. On the top there you got Sailor Moon right there and her silhouette. S.H.Figuarts new standard figure series and copies the banner extra figure art under the theme pursuing character expression through humanoid action. And this is the Hong Kong edition, so it has a sticker on there, and that F sticker is just a stupid store, and inside there is a pink backing card. And if you want to take a closer look at the instructions, box side, and also photo shoot the figure, please feel free to head over to the Flickr or Facebook link in the video description below. Here's a quick look at the instruction manual, instruction sheet manual, showing you all the different pieces and parts that you have, and also how to assemble the basic Tamashii stage, because people need instructions for that. Opening the box, you shouldn't have to worry too much. Just like other Sailor Moon stuff, they have a little tray there that holds all the hands. So most of the small parts are already secured. See, you have a whole hand tray. We'll look at that a bit afterwards. You can see there is the Tamashii stage bar hiding underneath that tray. She has her Super Sailor Moon 1, a little grail, like a holy grail. And she's got, apart from normal expression, she got her expression, determined expression, and eyes closed, dreamy expression. Apart from her spray open hands, she also has fist hands, opposing hands, spray open hands, and different sailor hands, and also item holding hand there. But only one side of the item holding hands and not both sides. And yeah, you got the Tamashii handle right there. And you can see the figure is got a lot of plastic sheets protecting her. But before I look at that, right underneath here, oops, let's just let everything fall out. There we go. Come on. Oh, that one's plugged in, will fall out. Good. Underneath here, there is a Super Sailor Moon Tamashii stage. It's pink and all, but it does actually say Super Sailor Moon. Can I get a good angle here so you can see? There we go. And a new logo, so it's a new printed stage. As always, there's also a Q&A in there that you might win something. Yeah, no one ever wins anything from those. So she has a plastic sheet covering, a little wrap goes around these little skirt bits, so pull those out. She also has one here on her arm, not sure why the arm, one here as well. Oh, and so I'm going to pull those off. I'll replace them when I put it back in the box, but yeah. So that's all the plastic protection, and you see that all of these are transparent plastic, little bits on her dress, as well as the hair bits. Her shoulder sleeves are silver in color, they don't move, they're stuck in place. And I think, are these supposed to move? No, do not move these, you will snap them off. That's kind of annoying. The hair bits are still on ball joints, so those are joints there. Don't do them like that. You will probably snap something. Move your hand right up to the hair here and move it there. So you'll be really careful about it. See, first time moving them, they'll be a bit tight. So again, be really careful. Put your hand right up to it, or else you might snap something. I've already had a sailor snapping on me, I'm not going to have that again. So let's talk about articulation and be a bit careful here. Yeah. So, head is on a ball joint and the hair really gets in the way, so we'll move them up. So, ball joint, down, look up, sideways, sideways, rotating. And torso has a joint there and there, so we've got two joints of torso. Honestly, it's quite tight, but up, down, sideways, sideways, rotates, does rotate all the way. Body is on a ball and swivel, peg and swivel, so up, down, forward, backwards. Rotating joint here, very, very tight. Single joint there. Well, it is a single joint. Hands on a peg and swivel joint as well. Like I said, hairs are on ball joints. Whew, this thing feels a lot more fragile than any of the other ones, mostly because of these things. So leg goes down, up, down, up. Leg goes forward, backwards. Soft material for the dress. There's a little cut there, just in case. Move this up, and I guess it goes down a little bit. So yeah, double knee joint. Actually, no, there's a single knee joint. Single knee joint. Leg goes up, back. It's on a peg in the swivel joint right there. So next, let's see how easy it is to, or how hard it is to swap her heads. So you take this hair piece off, transparent plastic that's painted. Take her head off. Come on, come on, come off. There we go. And then we plug in the new head. These do look like the same pegs as the other Sailor Moon, so her faces might be compatible. I mean, the same shape face and everything, got the same pieces molded in, so you can probably swap them around for, you know, a few extra facial expressions. I mean, they're the same facial expressions for the most part, apart from the eyes closed ones. You have less face. If you have the first edition of Moon, you will have the extra pieces, two extra faces. If you don't, then you're missing them. Like, ah! And I like doing this with all these figures. It's funny. So there you go. It's a pretty easy swap. As for the hands, let's see. Just a little ball peg instead of a flat peg. You get your other hand secure stick. This is buildable, kind of like how Lego is. Just plug them in for security, and you can just unplug one of her hands from these ball pegs, and they seem pretty tight. Plug that back on. Plug that back on. See how tight it is, and it fits really well. Quick look at the wands here. You know what would be really neat? Her little black cat in a different pose. That would have been a good accessory to have, but no. In fact, some of the other sailors, they have hardly any accessories. Like, what was it, the blue one? Mercury, she had a little panel thing, but her box felt really bare. She could have done with another cat as well. But anyway, yeah, this thing is actually printed very nicely. The mold details also pretty good. In the middle there, little red dots. It's a very nicely done thing. And if we take a look at the gauntlet, you can see there, it's done very nice. Very nice little bits of detail and paint there, especially on the front. Got all the little logos there. It's yeah, both these pieces are very high detailed and are very, very good accessories. Molding on Super Sailor Moon is pretty good. I didn't really notice anything, you know, bad or any lines popping up, anything. And the paint detail is very, very good. This is much more impressive than the other sailors because this is her super form, so she has more detail going on her costume and suit design. Whereas the other versions, all of the sailors have very similar bodies, so there's a lot of reused assets there. I mean, there's a lot of reused assets on this one as well, but there's a lot of new stuff added to it as well, which makes it good. The other ones didn't have that many new stuff added to them. So it got a bit kind of boring after a while, but I get it, they're meant to all look the same. It's in terms of technicality, those got a bit boring, but they're still good looking figures. This one is not that boring because there's a lot of new stuff going around. I do really like how her dress piece, a little ribbon on the back, and those two little bits that come down slowly fade into transparent plastic. That's a really good effect and looks really, really nice. And I think it fits really well with her super form since she's got that whole crystal look going on. I think that's great. And those colorings really match the gold wand and the little gauntlet thing. I think that's a really good contrast. That's a really good design, and it's done really well in this figure. The hair kind of fits here. Her two sort of really long hairlines. Those come down. Those become transparent. Those look pretty cool. It's far more transparent than the original Sailor, which I think is a good thing. The original Sailor Moon hair was a bit more solid in color, which if it went transparent too quickly, it would have looked a bit odd. You know, when on the sort of standard mode of her. Whereas here, she's supposed to look more crystal-like, more shiny-like, so it makes sense for the hair to be more transparent. So I like that a lot. And the little details, the little paint details, and more details on her chest and belt buckle, those are very good as well. Most of the joints are okay too, except for her leg joints, the one where the original Sailor Moon snapped. Those are still quite scary on this figure. They're very tight. They did move I didn't feel like I was breaking it, but I was still very worried if I pushed too hard or pull too much, I might snap another one. That would be really annoying. And I never got a replacement part for that faulty figure. The figure was faulty, like the joint wasn't moving, it was like glued down or something, or the paint dried up and it wouldn't move, and it snapped because of it. But if you're in Hong Kong or outside of Japan, forget getting a spare part or a replacement part, because they contacted me. They replied saying, oh, we'll contact the store where you bought it from and you can pick it up from the store, but the store never got contacted by them. They never got a piece. So and you might think, oh, that could be the store's fault, but no. But I went online, in the forums, people said, yep, that's the Hong Kong Bandai for you. They will just say, they will just bullshit you and then not give you a piece for a faulty product. So if you're living in the US or whatever, if you're living outside of Japan, anywhere else, even in Hong Kong, I'm going to get a replacement part. So you got to be careful when picking up some of these figures. If you're, say, in America or Europe, where you just you might want to wait for the Bluefin release of this, because they are officially releasing these figures in America, like the Sailor Moon line. So if you get one of the Bluefin release, you might have better customer service, but you might have to wait a bit longer for this one. I don't know how many of these they're actually releasing over there. Aside from all of that, the accessory count is pretty decent. You got enough amount of faces, you got a time machine stage, you got the two main accessories, you have a little hand stand that can plug and unplug like Lego figures. Seriously, why doesn't the camera and stuff have that? The Bandai is still assuming that girls will buy this and chuck away the boxes, because they're not like obsessive boy collectors that keep the boxes. Whew. But I guess that's fine, because I do keep all the boxes, so I don't need an extra handstand thing, but it's nice to have, come on. And I like that you can actually swap and build it, kind of like a Lego thing. You know, like plug it with all the other sailors and stuff and not keep it in one place, so that's decent. They do have that. And as you can see in the rotating video, she can actually stand quite well despite the really small feet. She is back heavy for obvious reasons, but it doesn't hinder her too much. And since you do have a time machine stage with this, it's not that big of a deal, because you got a stand to hold it up. So in conclusion, this is a decent figure, just a bit tight on the head. Swapping the face, swapping the hands feel very easy, and then moving her is a bit tight at parts, so hopefully she'll loosen up in time. It's better to be a bit tight than a bit loose. That's what she said. If you've enjoyed this video, you can check out the other S.H.Figuarts reviewed videos of all the Sailor Moons that I've done. I've done all of them except for the fake Sailor Moon, the evil disguise one, because that's currently going for insane prices. It will be released to the mass public in 2 months or something, so it'll be cheap then, about 400 max. So I'll pick it up then and review that too. At the meantime, it's going for insane prices because people got an early copy of it from Comic-Con. Not Comic-Con, the Japanese equivalent of Comic-Con, like Time Machine Nations or something. I also picked up a Kamen Rider Baron Energy Lemon. I picked that up early before the prices spiked, and the mass release of that one is also out this month or something. So yeah, I'll be reviewing that soon, but apart from that, I've reviewed every single Sailor Moon S.H.Figuarts. I'll also be reviewing a Sailor Moon sort of accessory pack, so you can check that out as well, and those fit right with these figures. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, subscribe button, also leave a comment below on what your favorite Sailor is and what other girly anime stuff you want to see as S.H.Figuarts. And of course, if you want to support this channel even further, you can head over to the Patreon page and support that if you want. I would appreciate it a lot. But most importantly, take care, have a nice day. I'll see you soon. Phew, bye bye now.